So the 20 billion that he
I sort of keep doing the same thing. Like today, I'm excited about this Amazon purchase. That, if I do another book, that would certainly be a chapter. There was a story this week that he put.
And hold on there. Like he just spoke about Amazon. I want to put on this book here. He said more than $20 billion worth of Apple stock was purchased in 2018.
Yeah, it's now worth $50 billion.
So the $20 billion that he purchased in 2018 is
About
now
right.
worth $50 billion.
$50 billion.
Wow.
And maybe he's bought more. We'll find out tomorrow. Maybe he hadn't. Apple's buying its own stock back. My question is he buying it also? I don't know.
Let me answer the question. Why does the company buy back their own stock?
Well, it helps you have to get it at the right price under intrinsic value, but it helps lower the shares outstanding. So if you're a shareholder, you've got fewer shareholders, which is what you want. If you have 100 shares and now you have 90, you own a little bit bigger percent of the company when they do that.
And why do companies do that? What's the whole purpose? Like, why would they buy back their own stock?
Well, you get just taking shares off the market, and it helps. It's a buyer.
Okay.
And Buffett has now said he may buy back as much as $100 billion of his own stock over a long period of time, perhaps. But it just shows that he thinks that if he buys it, he thinks it's undervalued. Correct.
I think it's undervalued too. I mean, this is why I look at it, because I saw something where I forgot. Either he was with Yahoo or somewhere, and he said, hey, you always evaluate, when I buy a company, I always evaluate it like I'm buying the whole company.
Exactly.
He said, I don't just look at, hey, just buying 3 shares of Apple or whatnot. He said, hey, so what is the market capitalization of this company, right?
Right.
And if the market capitalization, and if for people out there, market capitalization is the shares outstanding and the price. So he said, this company is pretty much at $100 billion. He looks for revenue to justify that purchase. So he looks and he says, okay, well, the company is making $200-something billion a year. He said, well, would I buy a whole company that was making 200,
exactly.
And that's how he evaluated buying a company. And I thought it was a pretty ingenious idea.
Yeah, you're not buying a stock certificate or 3 shares. You're saying, I am a partial owner of Coca-Cola, and I look at it that way.
And, I thought that was very interesting and kind of changed my way of doing quick evaluations of companies. Like, okay, I can examine revenue, look at market capitalization. And he said, always say, hey, if you had $1 billion, and he spoke about this during the Lyft IPO, like Uber, Lyft,
right.
I know y'all down in Alabama, y'all may not use Lyft down there.
We have Uber.
Y'all got, but, when Lyft came out, everybody said they evaluated, Lyft was a hot IPO. Lyft was evaluated at $25 billion. And he looked at it, he said, they don't have the revenue to justify $25 billion. And he said, hey, when I go to buy a company, I don't look at the future and stuff like that. I look at how much money. And he said, if I had $25 billion, it's so much other things that I can buy versus buying a company like Lyft that pretty much has 0 revenue that was coming in. I think it was maybe close to $1 billion. So he said, how can you justify being worth $25 billion? And that really that's why I come to these meetings, to hear him, which I will sit back and listen to him tomorrow, take notes, and to season myself to one day.
Good.
I don't, because I say, hey,
the next Warren Buffett.
I won't say all that, but but how does the saying go? If you shoot for the stars, if you miss, you land on the clouds. If I had 1% of his success,
we all would be happy. Yeah.
Maybe
I'll even split it with you.
You split it with